Hi there, this is Andy Bornhop from Cycle World Magazine. We're at AIMExpo 2014, and we're at the Zero booth. Zero, as you know, is the largest maker of electric motorcycles in the world, and the FX is called by Cycle World the most entertaining electric motorcycle in the world. And there's a new model called the FXP, a police version. Really caught our eye today, and we're here with Scott Harden to talk about the police bike.
Well, come on, Andy, come on, let's take a look.
What can you tell us about it, Scott?
Well, this started life as an FX model, and the FX model is really an inner city hooligan bike. Very lightweight, very high performance, 44 horsepower and 70 foot-pounds of torque. It's very fast, very maneuverable, and will pop a wheelie just looking at the throttle. We did some testing with LAPD this year on some of our other models, and they said it would be great if we had a lightweight model. We have a certain application we could use it for. So we worked with them to develop this from our Space FX model.
Okay. Tell me a few things that make it different from a standard FX.
Well, of course, the main differences are the crash bars, the hand guards, the siren and communication system, and the utility box in the back. You know, it's really designed for tactical advantages for the police department. They want to get into tight areas very quickly without being announced or without any forewarning to the people that they're trying to drop in on. This bike does that. It's great for inner city use, tight use within apartment complexes, parks, trails and park systems where they want to get in the back areas. They've had a lot of success with this bike, and they're getting ready to order more.
What are the police officers telling you? I'm sure they're used to big BMWs and big Hondas, and like when they hop on the FX for the first time, what are they telling you?
Well, the guys, the motor cops at the police department, they're hardcore motorcyclists. They don't only use them during their work, they race and ride them on the weekends. So they're very demanding motorcyclists. A lot of people don't know that. And what they really like about this bike is it's direct drive, and they could put around on it and keep it rolling without having to think about clutching or what gear they're in or whatever. They're always in the meat of the power band. When they want it, the power is immediately there. No vibration, no heat coming off of the bike, which during the summertime, you'd be surprised how much just the heat coming off the motor, it changes the way you'd experience. So they like everything about it, and it's proven to be a real tactical advantage.
Okay, excellent. At the press conference earlier, you talked about fleet use. There's some fleet buyers of some Zeros. Is it FXP they're buying, or which model?
Well, this is a new model. Most of our fleet stuff has been based around our DSP model, which is a police version of our popular DS or dual sport version. Those bikes have much longer range, as much as 185 miles in the city, well within the limit of what they need, the range limits that they need to do shift on. We've transitioned from that to the SP model. That was added to the line last year. That's a little bit lower based on our Street Fighter model bike. Some police departments prefer it because while the dual sport is an on-off road bike, the other one's pure street. In New York, for example, New York City, they just want a street bike to get around on. And now we have the FXP that's kind of the hybrid between all of those. That really, if you have a specific application for a police use, we have the bike for it. Excellent.
Now, Charlie Beck, Chief of the Los Angeles Police Department, kind of a friend of Cycle World. I would think it's good to have a motorcycle-loving police chief examining some of these FX bikes. Do you think his enthusiasm for motorcycles was part of the reasoning behind LAPD getting some FXPs?
Well, it certainly doesn't hurt. And when we initially went out the initial test with Chief Beck and some of his top motor cops, he made sure to ride the bikes himself. He didn't just want to get a report back, he wanted to experience them himself. And they got out the bikes and they took and hammered them right from the start. So, you know, he brings credibility to that position, and certainly a certain knowledge and experience from his racing and riding background that really helps to make an informed decision. He can see the potential in the bike and how it can be applied to a specific police application.
One other question. You, in our discussion earlier, you told me that there was an old motocrosser who's now an LAPD officer. Who might that be?
Yeah, I was very curious to find that one of the cops that came there to test the bike was none other than Damon Huffman. And I had to do a double take on it. When he walked up to me, I recognized him immediately as Damon, but in the police outfit, it was completely out of position. But he's been in LAPD now for several years, and he loves it. He enjoys serving the community, and you know, and he's just another example of what Charlie Beck, Police Chief Beck, has brought to the table and bringing these types of, you know, really good guys to the police department.
Excellent. Hey, well, we've taken enough of your time. Scott, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Have a good show.